Alright, so yes, I know this mic sucks dick, but um it is time to do an updated tier list on all the Arsenal guns. Last time I did this was 2020. Yeah, just 2020. But the last time I fully rated these guns was 2022, and that was around November. So of course, what you're hearing right now is obnoxiously loud, but who cares? Because this is a different mic, and it's pretty much the only one I have at the moment. So that's that. So as you can see, we have quite a few amount of tiers. We have roughly 10. We have the X tier, which is some of the greatest guns of all time. S tier being some awesome, goated guns. A being good, or no, great. B being good. C being just neutral or okay. D being not too good or not bad. F being bad. Ass being just ass. Dog shit being dog shit. And Old Holy Unity being the three worst guns you can have in any round and any time in any game mode. So I'm gonna try going through this a little bit more quicker than I did in the previous set videos, but let's get on to it. And if you're seeing ads, just don't mind that. So starting off with the AA-12, a gun that has unfortunately um, got a freaking nerf not too long ago. Ever since that nerf, this thing used to be like X tier, but ever since that nerf, it's put itself to A tier only because um, its spread is alright. Its accuracy is really just a shotgun accuracy. So, and I'm trying to think of what else I can say other than the fact that it's not. At least its nerf isn't too bad. It at least still gives it an A. So, Acid Spitter, nothing else I can say other than it's just useless if you get it because you might as well hope to God someone is right next to you. So we got the AK trio here. I'm putting the AK-47 in A, AK-74 in B, but AKM in S. Only reason that these are like in separate tiers is that AKM has, I think, the best damage, as also having like better accuracy. The AK-47, it's good. It's just that its recoil's weird, and AK-74 being just the standard like good gun, as I've said all these years. Arm cannon. I still think it's ass only because its loadout time I think is strictly like broken. It's kind of like with the SKS and the blunderbuss, but the only reason I put it in ass is only because I think its splash damage is kind of way too overpowered. Because like you could be like say example like you're on Villa and you're like behind the wall and someone shoots an arm cannon towards you, it still will kill you despite you being behind the wall. It's like it's hard to describe it because it just the gun itself is pretty much broken. So there's that. The AUG is kind of like the AK-47, but I'd say it's a little better. I'm not gonna sort these because that would take forever. It's not ever been a bad gun by all means, so there's that. Then we have the auto bow, which I think is one of the better special weapons. I think it's the best bow because it has a scope, which is weird. I'm not sure crossbows in real life have that, and it generally I think it is more easier to get used to, unlike the crossbow and the actual bow, which we'll get to later. AWP, I'd say is B tier because it is an instant kill upon shot, but if you're not good with guns that have really like long like reloads, not saying that this thing has a long reload, it's like 2 seconds, but if you're not a fan of that and you don't use the scope, you might have a tough time, getting used to this weapon. But it's not bad. It's pretty much a sniper. That's that. The bar has always been an S tier. It's ever since its an introduction. I think it was 2020 or was it 2021? But ever since its introduction, it's pretty much been one of the greatest guns you can have. It's super easy to get used to, really great accuracy, great at any range, and only side effect I'd say is probably the mag of it, like how much ammo you pretty much have. Other than that, though, it's pretty good. Ever since Barrett in 2020 during the summer update, this thing has always been an S tier. Because you can just sniper jump. You will know if you know, because that's pretty much it. It's like the AWP, but you can jump with it. and it does like 600 damage. Awesome stuff. Uh, baseball launcher. I think this thing is ass only because it's as soon as it hits something, not a even a player, it will just instantly stop. It's like a dead stop. It's like it hit a roadblock or something. But at least in this, weapons cases, at least it does a good amount of damage, and you can attempt to get good shots with it. Anyway, BH10. I'd say is B only because I think its recoil is a little too hectic, and I think its mag is like terrible because how are you gonna kill someone when you only have like 20 bullets? And it's 40 bullets. But then again, this thing shoots really fast, so pretty good weapon all around. This is the it's called like basically the heaviest shotgun, I believe. Shotgun, what? Heaviest machine gun. I'm only putting in. I think it's in D, mostly because the spread is what kills this thing. The spread on this thing is awful. It's arguably one of the worst, but it's not only just that. It's just the fact you walk pretty slow with it. I mean, then again, it is a machine gun, but it's the fact that that damn spread gets in the way, and you're just like, what the hell you doing, and stuff like that. So I'm putting this in D. It wouldn't be even close to like any of these tiers though, so I think it's like a high D. Oh, the Pete Bison, aka. Um, I put this in C only because its damage is a little weak, but it is a pretty solid. A pretty solid. I don't think it's an auto mag. I would look on the Arsenal wiki right now, but I'm not doing that only because I would waste time, and I don't want to waste time here. Today. God damn it! I forgot to text my girlfriend. But I don't want to waste time here in this recording because I don't really like doing long tier list recordings. Next is the blunderbuss. I said with this earlier that it has a terrible loadout. The thing is with the blunderbuss, I think it's D only because once you shoot it, it actually throws it. You throw it, but it actually can still kill the player once you throw it at it. So I think that's a interesting plus to this gun. But other than that, it's not really fun because it's a shotgun that you really can't shoot multiple times with, and you have to wait at least a second or two with it. So, yes, a weapon that could have not returned the bomb. I solely think it's D because I think ever since since it's buff where you can just left click and it'll automatically go off. Not like saying like as soon as you right click it's gonna go. But once you throw it, it will like blink a beep for a few seconds and then it will explode. I think the gold bomb is somewhere down here too, but the bomb itself, its splash damage I think is also kind of broken. It's kind of like with the hand cannon, but or arm cannon, excuse me. But it's not as bad. So is that the bow is F. I have no more explanation. That's it. Now you might be thinking Kaliko is going to be S automatic. It's going to be X. Well, it got a nerf unfortunately. So just like the AA-12, which used to be my favorite gun in 2020, got nerfed. Kaliko came in 2022, 2023. It's nerfed already. Yep, it has been sadly nerfed, and it only goes to S tier. Hate to see it. Candy cane machine gun. I think it's alright. I think it's an A, only because it kind of does cause some. If you have like a bad PC, you're more than likely gonna lag when you're playing when someone has it. But other than that, it's S or A. A. God, I can't speak. The Chord. Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out, okay? You can go super high in the air. Like, you can go high. You can just, like, shoot it several times. It has no ammo at all. You can right-click. That's if you even feel like you can kill with that. And it's super fun. It makes a nice little short sound even when you're going. It's like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And it does a lot of damage. And a thing that you can also do if you're pretty skilled at the game, I'm not saying that if you're watching this video you're not, you can literally attempt to backstab someone depending on what the map is. Like Sandtown, Dizzy, Villa, and Tuscan you can do it on, but like other maps like Agency um or Street Corner 2, you can't really do that. I might make a map tier list at some point, but Chord X, love this thing to death. I've always loved it. Concussion rifle. Only reason is because it got a random nerf. I don't know what happened. It takes like 40. It does like only 40 damage, on top of the most broken splash damage I think I've ever seen from any weapon. It's depressing, I know. Uh, Cone launcher. It's kind of like with the baseball launcher, except it's a little better. But I'd say it's D because the amount of ammo you have is like very strict, and it's not really the most like goated weapon of all time. So I have to put it like that. Then we have the crossbow. The crossbow I think is at least in B. Actually, no, C. My bad. Only because it's not like the auto bow, of course, where like the auto bow is kind of like more, simpler. I think the crossbow is only in C because I think its damage is really like good, and I think its recoil got like fixed because back then this thing would go like it would launch you backwards. It felt like an actual like rocket launcher. DB Cha Cha, you think this thing would be in one of these tiers down here, but I'm gonna put it in F only because I think it's nerf. I think it got a buff a little bit, and I haven't really struggled with it as much, but it's not really still fun to use this thing despite it being a machine gun. The DB shotgun. This thing is ass. I think ever since this new model came out for it, oh my god, it is something that it's it's not good. Even right clicking is not helpful with it anymore. I have no fun using this gun. Even when I left click, it's like always inaccurate. It kind of feels like you're going left and right and other shit other shit. But all right. However, the DBS I think is still A tier. I don't think it's the worst. I think it's pretty good. Only problem I have with it is just that like I don't really have good accuracy with it. It's also because it's recoil. But then again, this is a shotgun. But then again, it is a shotgun. Anyway, sorry, someone is texting me at the moment. Um, Next we got the Deagle. This one also got a remodel, and it's become D tier because D for Deagle. This, I think, had it not gotten a redesign, like a remodel of it, this weapon would be like B at least. But ever since its remodel, its recoil has become stupid, and it's like its POV looks really weird. Um, Pez dispenser, as most people call it, although it's called something completely different. I think it's F. Um, that's it. I just don't have anything else to say about it because it's just damage is just awful. Now, the Dragunov, I think is actually S. I think this thing is fantastic. Um, I I simply think like it's one of the better long distance guns to have, as well as like a headshot machine. If that's even a word, I don't know. I think it's really good though. Yeah, it does pretty good damage. It's just that like if you're not good with like guns that only really just are like a one tap or something, it's not like it might not be the gun for you. So getting to the three dual weapons, I'm gonna go through these ones a little bit quicker. Dual LCRs are D. Dual shotguns are B because good damage. Dual volcanics B as well because these two I think have the like equal like fire rate. While dual LCRs is kind of just me. No, I'm kidding. Electric revolver. This thing is S. This thing's splash damage. Ever since it got splash damage, this thing has been like goaded. Um, the same the same can be said for the EM, but I think this is X tier. Only reason its splash damage is just as good, and you get more bullets and more of the power. It just these two weapons, man. These two weapons, ever since their splash damage got introduced, they've been great. Explosive barrel, Falcor. um, I'd say it's C only because it's had this nerf I think since like 2020 when the sci-fi update came out. and its fire rate got like decreased, and I don't know what the reason was, but it's not the worst, but it's not like something I would rely on in like randomizer or like any other game mode to be like, hey, this thing is not bad or something. FAMAS, pretty simple, self-explanatory. It's like the AK-74. It's pretty basic. Um, Only that the FAMAS has a better fire rate and it does a little bit better damage. Firework launcher is pretty much, ass because I get it. It has a splash damage update, but like, please give this thing more ammo. Like, who do you think is gonna kill with like 4 bullets? Flamethrower, flaming pumpkin. Actually no, F. FMG. This might be the greatest gun in the game currently because in my 116 Arsenal guns ranking, at least I think that's what it's called. Actually, let's check on my channel right now and see if that's the answer. Hold on. Uh, it's somewhere, guys. I promise. Guns. I think top 166. Um, but yeah, this one was originally second, and I think it deserves a spot as the best gun of the game. Very simple. Accuracy is amazing. Spread is on point, and you can pretty much shoot this from any direction. And if you get this in randomizer, consider yourself lucky. Def and Foul, I think, is actually not bad. I think it's A. It's not the worst gun in the world. It's not one of the. It's not like S tier or X tier, but I think this gun is pretty good. It's like the AUG and the AK-47. So pretty good stuff. I think this is called the Falcor. I might be wrong, but or is it the? Yeah, I think it is the Falcor. I might be wrong. I don't remember the exact name of this thing, but I think it's C only because it's just all right. It's not like the most exciting thing in the world. I think its animation though is pretty good. Um, Other than that, no, nothing really much. It was originally like ass or dog shit back in like 2020, but then it got a little bit of a better upgrade, and now it's not bad. So G11. Actually, I think this is in B only because scoping this thing is not really the funniest, like the funnest thing to do. I think it's better off if you don't scope and you just simply shoot the weapon. Other than that, it's not the worst thing in the world. Go to the Glocks. The Glock 18. C because it's spread. I think this is the Glock 19 or 17. I'd say is B. Glock 21, C. Only because Glock 21 I think got a buff and now it's not like stiff as it used to be. I believe this is the G3. I know it starts with G. This thing is S. It's like the AKM but like a little bit more of like a pack of like a punch, to like shooting it, like to the player damage and stuff like that. I think this is the GS. I might be. I'm sorry if I'm getting these wrong. Um, this right here is not the worst. It's just its fire rate is like my biggest gripe with it, and also shooting it is not really fun. And if you're like hold clicking it, you're kind of just like confused on what you're doing and stuff like that. This is the Gatling gun. Loadout is ridiculously stupid, but it's pretty much a Gatling gun as it is, and I'd say it's C because you can't go wrong with the Gatling gun. It's not, awful or not like too good. It's just at loadout, man, not the funnest thing in the world. This is one of the newer G guns. I don't remember its name. I think it's called like G5 or something. I don't know. I'd say it's B. I think its accuracy is a little wonky, and I think its spread is kind of just as wonky, but it's not like where I'm just going like, oh my god, this sucks or something like that. Next is the Golden Musket. Do I need to say more? Golden Bomb is kind of just like the actual bomb, but a little better. Just say that. There's nothing really else I can comment on that. Golden Bow, instant kills. C. It's not like, as bad as regular bow. And Golden Gun. Fuck this thing. Grease Gun. You gotta feel a little greasy sometimes. That sounded really bad. But I think this thing's X. I love this gun a lot. It's one of the most simplest auto. I think it's an automag. I might be wrong, but it's one of the simplest guns that you can use, and just great stuff. Never had a problem with it. This might be a hot take. I think hand cannon is actually A. I love this thing. I think it's gotten better over time. It used to be like really really low. I think my first match, which was on Hillside, or was it Aircraft? It was one of those two maps, but when I was, first playing this game, I remember hand cannon was one of the first guns I kind of struggled with, but over time I got used to it, and I think it's A. Not bad. Henry rifle. What can I say about this thing? Um, this thing is complete dog shit. That's all I can really say. It's just so bad. Shooting this thing is like you're trying to shoot like a target at like point blank, but you're looking, but like you're like drunk or something, and you're trying to like shoot it like a bullseye. It's like ridiculous. High power, most basic pistol you can get. I just think it's C. Okay, obviously, if you've seen the top 166 guns, aka the 42 of you that's seen it, um, you know that this was the lowest rated gun. I think there's a good reason. Because it just sucks. It's like random on like damage it has, unless you get a headshot, which is instant kill. But it's just no. It just shouldn't exist. It should just be gone. Gone like just burned in ashes. But I say but I think its remodel kind of gave it a little bit of a better chance. Get mad at me. I believe this is the Ice Stars. These are the Ice Stars, yeah. Um, Not that many people know it, but you can actually double jump with this thing if you press spacebar twice, and right clicking with this thing is actually not bad. So I'll put it C for now. I might have an opinion change on it in the future. I was wondering if my OBS was recording. Also, you know how like because like there's like notifications on here. Does anyone know how to fix that? I'd like to know. Next we have the internal shotgun. Really good. I think it's one of the best shotguns, other than another one I might mention later. Internal shotgun, always been great. I used to call it the international shotgun as a 14-year-old, but I think it's really funny. Calibri, I say it's D, only because you barely have any ammo on this thing, and what do you expect from a gun that's like literally the size of your fingertips? It's like, what else do you do with it? I don't know. I don't hate the L8. I think it's B. Simply because I think it's got like a little bit of a more like, because it's kind of like one of those guns you kind of feel like more like a relaxed shooting. I don't know if that just sounds weird, because like other guns like FMG, you're just like L L8 is kind of like just do or something like that. Just kind of sounds like more quieter, and it's not bad. Um, Laser rifle, uh, always been just one of the better guns to have. It's not like the gun I would get like over hyped about. I think it's called like a pulse laser, and then there's the laser rifle, which they're literally just the exact same thing. I think one has better mag than the other, but they're both just simple guns that you can't go wrong with. So yeah, both are equally great, and that's why they're both B tier. Hold on. Excuse me. Next we have the lever. Not the lever shotgun. This is the. It's it's not the lever shotgun. I know that. It's like, unless it's. Oh no, it is the lever shotgun. I keep getting Spencer Carbine and lever shotgun confused. Kind of got a nerf. It's kind of like Coleco, but I think it got a little bit worse nerf, and I'd say it's B for now. The lightning cannon is C. I mostly think it's C because its splash damage I think got like nerfed. I don't know if it's just me or not, but it kind of just feels weird to shoot now, and sometimes it won't like even affect the player even when it's like right on them or something. It just feels weird. Literal gun is literally an instant kill, and it kind of just self-explains itself. It's just a literal gun. hey, it's kind of just a shame you don't see this weapon as much. So the Little Tom, I think, is C. Kind of got a bit of a buff. Not else I can say about that. The Luger, however, this thing got a little bit of a buff. I think it's B. I think it was earlier this year it got buffed. Dude, this thing kind of deserved it. Um, it was definitely a gun that did deserve a buff. It was kind of in like the slumps for a while, being like one of the worst. But hey, that buff ever since then, it's not been a problem. So we take those. Next, we have the MB14. I believe that's what it's called, MB14. This thing is A. Is this thing is B? Its recoil's still kind of the killing blow, but it kind of got modified a bit. Then there's the M1. Might be wrong, but this thing is C. It's pretty much basic. AR-15. I'm sorry, M16. Very weak automag. I know it's controversial because it is an automag, but like this weapon is not fun to kill with because sometimes it will kill, then sometimes you just complete or like it just makes you look stupid. Um, M16. This thing's model is broken. Like you will right click and it will think like, oh, you're doing regular, but then when you right click again, it thinks you're in grenade mode. It like just makes no sense. It's just weird. M1911, I'd say C. Nothing else to say. The MA1s, they're both B, but I think the M1 Garand gets a B tier. No, it's A tier as well. I kind of struggle with this one because sometimes I think it's like up down here. Sometimes I think it's up here. I'd say it's A for now as my current opinion on it. It's the it's the M something. It's the M something. It's pretty much the EM, but like way weaker. And I'd say it's C tier. I think its spread is really weird too. Its accuracy is also not the best. Okay, moving on. M6 is the model, I believe. Or no, I think this was the model. This is just the M16. I don't know. They're both equally the same, but I think this one is just a little better. The M60, not really the best. I think it's because of how skinny the bullet is. Kind of makes you like confused, and its spread is really weird. M79, the kill. No, the I don't know. It's just it feels the same since I rated it. It's just like um, it's like just basic. It has pretty decent splash damage. It's not like concussion mania, splash damage or some other weapon. But yeah, M79, not the worst. M9 as well is not as bad. It kind of got a little bit of a buff, and I do think it's all right. The Mac 10, Mach 10, Mac 10, whatever. Solid B. It's always been. It used to be like D, I think, only because its accuracy was pretty bad, but it kind of got buffed ever since then, and we'll see if this thing will ever get nerfed again or not. Mag 7. This thing is wow. This I don't know what to say. This thing like all of a sudden just went, and it might be the greatest shotgun in the game. I don't know. But knowing shotguns, they always get nerfed, and there's always a new one that will just slowly arise. The next one that I think will slowly arise, AA-12 again. Makarov kind of is wonky. I think its spread is kind of weak, and it's like if your sensitivity is high with this thing, you're gonna have a struggle with it. You're gonna go like, um, the Mat 7 or the Mat 7 or the Mat 49. I just remembered. This thing is hated apparently by Rolf, but especially because it's in hard mode. But why put this poor thing in hard mode? This thing is a goat. This thing has the power. It has the bullet. It has the damage. It has the accuracy. Why do they say it's a hard gun? I don't get it. The Mauser. This thing's spread is awful. Enough said. Maximum 9, one of the better pistols. Pretty easy to get used to. I think this is the MG 30. I think it's called MG 36. Definitely a great addition to the machine guns, and the MG 42. Not sorry. is just as good. I think they're both, solid S's, except the 36 you go a little bit faster. 42 you go a little slower. So then we got the micro Uzis. It's kind of like the dual shotguns, which I won't really say much more about. The minifigure kind of got a nerf. It used to be a little bit better, but I'm gonna have to put it in C. I think it's because its damage got nerfed. I think it used to do like way more, and its accuracy used to be a little bit better. So there's that. Machine gun really is only down here because it's goddamn freaking, like, even when you right click with it, it's goddamn freaking loadout, as well as its bullet damage is awful. That's it. MK, why did this thing have to get a remodel? It just kind of ruined the gun. It puts it in B. I mean, it was A, I think, last time I rated it. No, this is the model. This is the model right here. Not good. Not good. Mosin, Canadian. Well, it's actually even a Canadian gun, as I used to call it. Bad. It just, moving on before I start saying, like, I just start ranting about how bad it is. The Mossberg, never been a bad shotgun by all means. Gotta zoom out again. It's never been bad. I think it's A. I think it's really good. Now we're going on to these guys. The MP5K. This thing has definitely deserved a better spot. MP7 just as good, and the MPS, I'd say, or MP9S, I'd say, is just as good. Only issue is that spread. It's kind of wacky. It's not like this thing, down here as bad, but is that the MS550, the MSS. It's not like the M40, okay? It's only because it does a little bit more damage and it's more used to, and it's not like it knocks you back like you're on a chair and then falling over instantly. The musket. I've always been pretty nice to this thing. I think it's not too bad. It's, of course, its biggest downside is, of course, when you shoot it, and then you don't get the bullet right, and you don't get the hit on the player. You have to wait like 5 seconds and then shoot again, and if you don't get it, you wait another 5, and then over and over and over. It's like, it's not fucking bad to me. I think it's really good. Nothing else. Um, the nail gun. It's kind of like a better equivalent to like the M16s, and it's just more smoother to use, I guess. The Nutcracker. Why does this thing have such a delay? It makes no sense. It has a delay, and I don't get it. It just feels weird. Origami gun, pretty bad bullet damage. That's all I'm really saying. Ornament, it's only because it's only in D. I would have put it in F if it didn't have like, splat, like effect damage. It's like pretty much any flamethrower and fire pumpkin, as well as another weapon we'll mention later. It's just, I don't know, it's just not really a fan of it. P250, solid, putting in A. It's not the worst gun in the world. Did I say A? I meant B. Oops. The P90, this was a gun. Fun fact about this gun, I actually begged for this thing to be in I begged for this thing to be in Arsenal back in 2019 because it actually is one of my favorite guns in real life. I don't own it, of course, because I'm not like one of those people. Those types of people that are moving on. I'd say it's B. It kind of got nerfed like halfway, and I remember it used to be my favorite weapon. Paintball gun kind of got nerfed. I've noticed it because even because I think it has like less bullets than it used to, and I don't know. I notice things. The Pathbringer, I'd say, is B. It's not bad. I think some people just kind of struggle with it way too much. Okay. I might be sounding like I'm fine right now. This thing is garbage. It is so bad. It's inaccurate. And I'm going to go downstairs while I'm talking about this thing. This thing sucks so badly that I could literally that I could literally have, like, I could write cursive better than that piece of shit. It's not good. It is so awful that I don't understand. How does someone get used to this gun? People are like level like 1,000 or 700 or 800 are probably just like, nah, this thing's just, I'm used to this thing. As like people below that, they are like not used to these types of weapons, dude. These things, they suck. It's so bad that I can't help myself but put it in unholy unity. Moving on. Oh, this is just as bad. The pepper gun. It just got the exact same like treatment, except the pacemaker is more inaccurate and off key. Thank you. All right. The peppermint rifle. Kind of C. It just feels weird when you shoot it. I think this came out in like what 2020, like near Christmas. God, that Christmas sucked. Then we have the pizza. Pizza. This thing got nerfed. Sucks. Um, then we I think this is called the uh pulse pulse pulse. It's pulse something. um, I don't know. It kind of feels easier, I guess, in that sort of degree, but it's not really something I'd go hype about. Potassium power. This thing's mag is just god awful. I think it's got like the old model, the AK-74, and it just sucks. PPSH. I don't know why I rated low. I'd say it's B. I think it got a little bit of a fixture since it's model remake, and that's why like you saw in because some models at this time were actually getting remakes when this was happening. So when as it was happening. So presents. I can't really say anything else other than they're just bad. Prisma is the last. I think this is the last dual weapon. This thing is great. I think it's one of the best pistols. That is not counting electro revolver, hand cannon, or literal gun. But it's up there with some of the greats. But I think it's really good stuff. Uh, pulse laser or pulse musket. Uh, it's like it has like the same like identities as like the PPSH. It's just that if you miss like 3 shots, it takes like I think it's like a 2-second reload, and it's kind of annoying. That's my only gripe with it, which is why I don't put it in A. So the pump shotgun, a little bit weaker version of the Mossberg, I think, but still does just as good amount of damage. Python is really weird sometimes, but I've gotten used to it, so I'd say it's C. It's kind of like the lightning cannon. Just like it feels weird to shoot, but it's not like the worst. RE100.com. Not good. It's not. It's not like. It's just not good. I think it's just. It's because its accuracy is like awful. Every time I've every time I've used this, it's like one of the worst like guns to use every time, and I've never gotten used to it where like my brain starts to deteriorate and I just struggle with it for like the next like 2 minutes. Railgun. Simple, one shot, one tap, it's an A. I don't know though. Who knows? The Razor Bomb got a bit of a buff with its splash damage, but it's always been, up here in these like top 3 tiers. Not the worst. Rocket kind of feels weird because it's kind of like the bazooka, which I will skip to. But the bazooka has a worse reload time, whereas Rocket, you can just shoot it several times. That's really the only difference between the two, other than them having equal damage, except this one does 97, this one does an insta-kill, so. But playing this thing on Brick Battle, oh my god, you're going to struggle. But, I think this is called the, potassium power, or potassium gun, or potassium launcher, whatever. That's the same thing with the, rocket launcher. They're kind of just like the exact same thing. It's just that one does a little bit better damage and has a better splash damage. Now you'd think the Succo would go into Unholy Unity, but no. I just slightly will put it in a little better tier. Get mad, I know. A weapon that has always stayed really great is the Scar H. This thing has always been a standout to any other gun. It's always been one of the greatest in the game. It's pretty much been one of my favorites since 2019, which is when I got into the game. Man, 4 long years. I think it's actually been. Actually, no. I think later. I think it was like the 26th or the 27th when I started playing this game, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's been always a standout gun. It's always been one of the greatest the game has ever offered. So then there's the Scar L, which I think is a little weaker, but not as bad. I think its spread is a little wonky. Its accuracy is great though. I think this is called like, I don't remember its name, but it is one of the newest guns in the game, and I think it's not bad. I think it's pretty good. It's like the Scar L. It's just a little weaker, but has like the same energy as like the AUG or AK-47 or MP7. Yeah, pretty good stuff. SKS I've gotten used to. I think its loadout is still broken, but I think it's pretty good now. Since you can actually shoot with it better now. It's like it used to be like a very slow shooter, but now you can like do a little bit more quicker shots. Lightning round for a few seconds. Slingshot ass. Snowball ass. Okay. Soul pistol. It's like the maximum 9, except this thing is S. I think it deserves the S tier solely because like it just feels so smooth to shoot with. It's like like one of the more easier pistols to get used to. Like unlike dual LCRs or Makarov, you might struggle with it a bit. But generally, I think this gun is great. The Spas 12. Um. Oh wait, I remember where I'm putting it. Spellbook. Lever shotgun. Or Spencer carbine. God damn it. Springfield rifle, I'd say is D. It's just that reload is no. Just the reload is the biggest gripe with this thing. But its damage at close range and I would say also long range is pretty great. Snake Launcher got so nerfed that I put it in A. I'll put it in A. I think ever since it's nerfed, because you used to just like shoot, and it would sometimes shoot people like that were even behind walls. I remember specifically on Villa, it used to be like really good, but this thing got nerfed, and I'm not a fan of it. So I have to see if it'll ever get buffed again. Sten, this thing is goated. This thing peak. This thing is peak. Like this thing, I don't know where to put it though. Is my biggest problem because like I think it's one of the greatest like pinpoint accuracy shot like shooting guns that this game currently has. It's so good. Sunflower is an instant shot and it's kind of just a direct shot kind of weapon, but I think it's really I think it's really good. So yeah, I'm kind of glad but yeah, I'm glad that a lot of these guns are that the Sunflower actually stayed pretty good. Um, the Super Ball or Subol, as I say, actually I think got a little bit of a buff, so I'll put it in A for now, only until like it probably gets nerfed again. Tavor, you can't beat. Excuse me. Excuse me, real quick. You cannot say that this gun is bad when it has 3 different modes. It has Endurcenary, which is pretty much like the spellbook but buffed. Slug, which is literally instant kill, and 12 gauge, which is literally just a regular shotgun. Love this thing. It's so great. And it's even broken in shotguns because you could switch it to Endurcenary and you could screw as many people as you want. Be careful though. Tech 9 also is hated. I don't know why. This thing is like the Mat 4-9, and Arsenal says it's just as bad. But the Tech 9 and Mat 4-9, great guns. Don't care. I think Tech 9 spread those a little weak. Tommy gun got a little bit of a better, it doesn't like have a recoil anymore, which I don't think it ever did, but like is more simple to shoot with. We're gonna go a little bit quicker now. The Taz, yeah, it's always left a sour taste in my mouth. It's not one of my favorite shotguns. Kind of just feels weird because you only shoot it 3 times and its reload isn't ridiculous. TP launcher. Enough said. Trash can kind of just stops as soon as you throw it, but it is an insta kill. I'd say D though, because it's really only a one-time use. Trench gun. This thing is like it's always another standout. This thing has always also been a standout. I'd say it's S only because we have roughly 5, weapons. Or no, we don't. We have like 9 up here. I might move it up depending on what these last remaining are. Ultra Ball is a little broken because sometimes like it will stop bouncing, but yet will still kill you. I think it's just weaker though because anywhere you hit it, it's gonna just like ricochet somewhere else. UMP, always been a fan of this gun, always will. Uzi needs the fast bullet update. Come on, we need it back. We need it to be a rapid fire gun. Other than that, it's always been solid all around. Vector's not really the funnest gun you can use. It's like you only get like 4 bullets, not 4 bullets, 40 bullets with it, and then it's like mag is like 80 for some reason. Like what? um, the water balloon. F. It just doesn't even have splash damage despite it being water. Uh, this is the Weebly. It's I'd say it's B. It's like the Python, but these two are not as bad. The Windicator definitely is a little better. It's like the LCRs, but it's like the father of them. The XM is S. I actually will move the trench gun up to X because it's a fantastic gun. Then we have the XR. Um, I don't know. It's just that gun I never really have a sole opinion on, but I think it's C. And the Z80, which we're gonna close off. To those who played the game in like late 2020 after the summer update came out, it has always stayed like this. But to those who played the game in like before the summer update and even before that, this gun you actually used to actually have to click several times, and also you can click and hold to get a better, shoot or like a better shot and probably kill them. I think ever since its update, it's always been a little easier to use. I'd say it's S, or not S, A. And that will do the Arsenal tier list. Yeah, quite a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we talked about this video. Um, if you do like what you're seeing, despite it being pretty low quality, like if you want, maybe subscribe. Thanks for once again. I know I've said this before in past videos, but once again, thanks for 1,000 of y'all. Um, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which I don't know what it will be. Goodbye.